In this video presentation, I'm going to show you visually and mathematically how to calculate a break-even point. First of all, I'd just like to show it what it looks like. I'm going to draw a line right here and a line right here, a very straight line. But this line right here is going to represent cost, and this line right here I'm going to represent units that are sold. Units sold. So let's say we sell 0 units and we have a fixed cost of, we'll just throw a number out, $500. And the question becomes, at what point do we break even? Well, we got to have some other data. So we have our fixed cost of $500. Let's say we sell each unit for $10, and let's say each unit has a direct variable cost of $5. So in essence, each unit that we sell, we make $5. So I'm going to draw two lines. This first line will be my cost line. I'll do my cost line in light blue. Well, every time I sell a unit, I incur a $5 cost. So in essence, it runs this way 1 unit and it rises 5 units. So the slope is 5. However, if I draw a second line right here in yellow, and let's say every unit I sell, that 1 unit, it rises a little bit more because every 1 unit it runs this way, it rises $10. So eventually what will happen is this line will look like this, this line will look like this, and at one point they will cross, and that is the number of units that are required to break even. Well, mathematically it's actually quite simple. Mathematically it's nothing more than your fixed cost. I'll just draw it right here, fixed cost divided by your revenue minus expenses, or something we refer to as their contribution margin, which is this right here. So you can take a look. If I have $500 and I have $5, it'll take me 100 units to break even. And it's really actually quite simple. Let's look at it a different way, because sometimes we don't have this data here. Sometimes we might not have it. So I'm going to go ahead and say, let's look at break-even point as for what it really is. Well, it's nothing more than total revenue that equals your total cost. So what makes it total revenue? Your total revenue is your price of the product times the quantity sold. There's your total revenue, and that's equal to your total cost, which will be your fixed cost, which was the 500 here. And I'm going to go ahead and add your variable cost times your quantity, because every time you sell one, you have a $5 charge. This is what it looks like. Now I can redo this whole thing and make it look a little different, like total revenue minus total cost. So price quantity equals fixed. Let's back up. Minus fixed cost plus variable cost times quantity equals 0. Now that'd be the break-even point as well. Now, if I want to, sometimes we like to put, we call it economic value. We might put how much we want. We may put $500 here, so we kind of know how many quantity and we need to for $500 profit. But what this equation allows me to do is look at it differently, because what if the question is not at what point do we break even? At what price do I set to break even at a certain amount of units? So you want to know the price. So you have to use a little algebra here. So if I went ahead and look back at this equation here, I'm going to go ahead and solve for P. So P times Q equals my fixed cost plus my variable cost, parentheses, times quantities. We want to do this first. And if I divide through by Q, I get my P. And if you take a look at it, my P would be my fixed cost plus my variable cost times Q divided by Q. And if I do this problem again, looking for the price, my fixed cost was $500 plus my variable cost, which was $5, times how many I was selling. I wanted to sell 100 units, so 100 units times divided by the quantity, which is 100 units. So if we look at this, that would be 1,000 divided by 100, which is 1,000 divided by 100, and that would be $10 would be the price, and there we have the $10. So I hope this helps a little bit understanding break-even analysis.